Thanks for purchasing your new Royce Union bike. With proper care and maintenance, your bike will give you years of enjoyment. But before that first ride, you'll have to assemble it. We're here to help, so let's get started. First things first, let's get the Royce Union RMT out of its box and remove all the protective packaging. Now that we have all the protective packaging off, it's time to install the seat and the post into the frame. There will be a tapered side which goes into the seat. I'm going to use an adjustable wrench or the wrench provided in the packaging. Make sure when placing the seat post into the frame that you go past the safety line. The safety line has a marking. You want to adjust this nut where you get some pretty good resistance. Still not tight enough yet. Just go back and keep on readjusting where you get a good amount of pressure. There we go. And make sure the seat is in line with the frame. We recommend using a stand. If you don't have one, you can use your cardboard box, lie it on the side, do the exact assembly you see here on the cardboard box. Inside the bike box is the parts box. Make sure you don't throw it away because there's tools inside here you will need. Right and left pedal, rear and front reflectors, derailleur guard, tools, and the owner's manual inside as well. We also recommend using an adjustable wrench if you have one, Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and a metric Allen wrench. May make the job a little bit easier. Starting from the front of the bike and working our way back, this is the stem of the bike that holds the handlebars on. Up position is more for comfort, and you can also undo these bolts, reverse it where it's angled down, better for shorter riders. It's your preference whichever way you like, but it is more comfortable being upwards. Now let's put the handlebars on. Use a wrench, undo these two bolts. Grab the handlebars, make sure the cables are lined properly like this one. There's grooves here, which are the center. You want to make sure those are in line prior to fastening this back down. And when fastening this down, try to go evenly on both sides. You want the clamp to be same space on both sides, and this should be facing upwards or slightly back. Got to adjust it evenly so no lines are showing in the center of the handlebars. And then retighten these down. And next we're going to put the front wheel on. When installing the front tire, look for the directional arrows that is pointing forward. You want to make sure the arrows are going forward prior to installation. And when installing this tire, you want to pinch these, undo this so we can get the tire through the brake pads. There's holes here where the grooves of these safety spacers need to go in prior to cinching it down. Safety spacer in the hole, then switch to the other side. And the same thing will go for this one. Cinch down the other side. Double check the directional arrows are going forward, and you're ready to move on and reattach this brake. Now it's time to check the brake pads. Make sure they're evenly in line with the rims. These look good. If you need to make any adjustments, use your Allen wrench to loosen these up while holding the bottom of it. Loosen it, make sure it's evenly with the rim on both sides, and readjust. Now it's time for the brakes. There is no movement on this side, but we got plenty of movement on this side. Screw right here, Phillips head screwdriver, and if we adjust the tension, we want both brake pads to be touching evenly at the same time. We're still not getting enough movement on this side. So we have to loosen this tension. And tighten this side. There we go. So now both brake pads are hitting at the same time. You can apply the same principles that we did with the front brake to the rear brake. Now that we have completed the front of the bike, it's time to move on to the pedals. There's a right and left pedal. Both are labeled either with stickers, and there's always an R and an L on the stem. Right is regular thread, left is opposite thread. Hand tighten, double check, make sure it's the right pedal, and then we use a crescent wrench to complete it. The right spins to the right, and the left actually tightens to the left. There we go. Make sure they're nice and tight. Now it's time to move on to the left pedal. And just to clarify, the left pedal tightens to the left, labeled L. Start by hand tightening it. So we're tightening going left, which will be forward on the bike. Make sure it's nice and tight. And we're good to go. Now that we have finished the middle of the bike, it's time to move on to the rear. The gears come adjusted from the factory, but it's always good to double check. If you don't have a stand like this, have a friend hold the bike up while you run through the gears. Using your left hand to pedal and your right hand to switch, you want to run through all the gears and just make sure they're smooth. And then going all the way back down. And everything seems to be working properly on this. And now it's time to install the derailleur guard. In the box, it comes with a derailleur guard plus the screws. The derailleur guard is used for any accidental falls. It will protect the derailleur from getting damaged. Using a number 4 Allen wrench, you want to have the washer first, then the screw, tightening both sides down. And always make sure your bolts are fastened down tightly. And there we go. All done. Prior to taking the bike off the stand, make sure you install the reflectors. The white is in the front, the red is in the rear. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten the reflector down. And also in your parts box, there's a plug that you put in the stem of the bike that helps with erosion, rain from not getting in. Now it's time to move on to the rear reflector. You want to put this on the post, and once again, Phillips head screwdriver. On the Royce Union RMT, tire pressures are rated on the sidewall. PSI for these tires are 40 PSI. Also, while you're here, make sure the directional arrows are going forward. Both front and rear tires are rated for 40 psi. Now before you go on the trails, we got a few more adjustments to make. Let's take it off the stand and double check the seat height and the handlebars. Now it's time to double check the handlebars for final adjustments. The brakes seem a little too high, so you want to undo these stem bolts and lower it for more comfortable riding position. And just as a reminder, you want the spacing on both sides to be evenly, or it will cause slippage of the handlebars. Now that we have the proper adjustments, we want to retighten these bolts onto the stem, making sure the handlebars are in the center prior to tightening them down. Very last step is seat adjustment. Your seat height should be just above the pelvis, and also the seat should be even with the road. This one looks like it's kicked back a little too high, so we're gonna have to make adjustments with the seat and the height. When adjusting the seat, there is a bolt on each side. Loosen them up. You want to have this rail in the center, and then the seat should be even with the ground, running parallel. Make sure it's nice and even. Then secure both sides and make sure seat is in line with the frame. All right, seat is adjusted, ready for the open road. If you have any questions, feel free to contact customer service or take it to your local bike shop.